during the pandemic, I've been asking everyone the same two first questions, and I'm going to continue with that today. What is the TV show you would love to guest star on?
Yeah, I'd say like an animated show, maybe Big Mouth or The Simpsons. The Simpsons would be great.
What movie or movies do you think you've seen the most?
Probably the Harry Potters.
Okay.
I watched them a lot growing up. Yeah, I was really into them.
Have you seen all eight of them like the same amount, where you'd start with the first one and just keep going?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You know, I think I had my favorites, but they're a great comfort watch. They just bring back my childhood. Basically, they're very like nostalgic.
Completely. I completely understand that. One of the things that I really, jumping into why I get to talk to you, one of the things I like is when movies talk about like real future, like even though this is a science fiction movie, this is stuff that could actually be happening down the road on our planet. Can you sort of talk about that aspect of the film?
One of the big draws of a lot of sci-fi films is that there is this very real kind of aspect to them of it becoming a possibility in the future. Yeah, it's quite it just kind of it adds a level of realness to it, I think, it excites you that bit more to know that this is something that could be a possibility, you know.
Completely. One of the things that's cool about your character, or as an actor, I would imagine with this role, is that you essentially are playing two different people. You know, you start out the movie essentially like a robot, like you're a certain way, and then by the end, you're completely different. Was that like, could you sort of talk about that aspect of your character and how nice that was to play as an actor?
It was amazing. It was really amazing to play. It's such a gift as an actor to be given a role like Zach. And that, like you were saying, that kind of juxtaposition of the sort of numb state they're all in at the beginning, and then that kind of leading to that like manic, off the blue kind of way of being. It's a lot of fun.
The movie is primarily about a few people, but the all 30 of the cast are like, it's all the same actors. You know, you don't have extras coming in each day. You're working with the same people. I'm just curious, what the hell was that like in terms of like offset? I mean, was it a fun shoot? Was it one of these, like, talk a little bit about it, because you had some really cool people working on this.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. It was hard work for sure. We did very like long hours, and those sets were so claustrophobic, and it was the middle of summer as well. So it was really, really boiling in those plastic costumes. But it was hard work, but it was a lot of fun, and we really had a lot of fun making it. And yeah, it was great. I look back on it with a lot of fond memories.
One of the things that people won't realize as they're watching, but there's no sunlight in this movie. You're in sound stages the entire time, LED lighting. At what point did you start going crazy during the shoot?
I'd say halfway through it did start to feel a bit Groundhog Day, and it's when they would open, when you do a whole day of filming and you'd be inside the whole time in this set, and then they'd open the doors at the end of the day to the stage, and sunlight would flood in, and you'd kind of like realize how out of whack you are.
I'm a big fan of Neil's work, and he can do some interesting camera shots. And there's some in this movie with the long corridor. Can you sort of talk about collaborating with Neil? Maybe what surprised you about working with him?
He's a brilliant director and writer. His kind of reputation is incredible, and he really lives up to it as well. He's very meticulous in his directing, and he's very able to pick out small details in your performance or in a scene and just alter them slightly to fit his image for it. He's got a very clear picture in his head, I think, very detailed and clear picture in his head of what he wants, and he knows exactly how to just do tiny little tweaks to get it.
There's something in this movie, without going into spoilers, it's in the second half, where the people are presented with facts, and they sort of don't want to buy into it, even though it's right in front of them. And it really reminds me of the real world and what happened with election fraud and with January 6th and all this stuff. And it's very interesting. And obviously, when you were making the film, you couldn't have known, you didn't know stuff like this was going to happen. But can you sort of talk about the film does a very good job of dealing with human nature?
Yeah, totally. It's kind of like the big question throughout the film is morality and humanity and what makes us human and why we should be good and all the rest of it. And one of the kind of things that becomes clear in the film is that all the characters need each other, to survive. And I think that's a really important message to kind of put out, is that we really do need each other. That kind of sense of community and togetherness is something that is really strong and very important.
I want to jump backwards for a second with you. I'm a big fan of Black Mirror, and you got to be a part of that. It was a cool episode. Can you talk about what you remember about making that episode? And I'm just curious what it was like working on that.
It was a hard shoot. It was really tricky because there was so much going on. We were filming 6 days a week, and we shot the whole thing in 6 or 6.5 weeks, and it's 4.5 hours of coverage overall. So it was a lot. It was like getting through a lot of material, and it was extremely confusing because we'd be doing a scene and then we'd go to move on, and then the director would be like, David, who's brilliant, he'd be like, oh shit, no, we've got to go back and we've got to do this variation of that scene. So we've got to do it in 4 different ways. One of them is like, you don't know anything. Second version is like, you're getting a bit savvy to it. Third version is like, you know exactly what's going on. Fourth version is like going crazy. There was like all these, it was like a scale, of deja vu almost. So it was tricky, but it was, again, I had a lot of fun on it, and I was lucky enough to work with incredible actors and crew and David, the director, and with Charlie and everything. So I just feel really, really lucky to have been a part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool episode. I got to go. I'm just going to say congrats. Wish you nothing but the best and good luck with your speed dating.
Thank you very much.